Google Gemini has some advice for humans. Eat rocks.
Those crazy Catholics are at it again. Now they're biting people.
Whose job is AI after next? How about head transplant surgeons?
A drunk monkey goes on a rampage in Russia. Will Putin have him killed?
It's the podcast everyone is talking up. This is The Talk Down.
Hi, I'm Adam Yenser, and I am an expert on butterflies.
Wow. I'm Ethan Nicolle, and I've had to kill my pet with a hammer on 2 separate occasions.
Wow. I can't wait to hear that story.
I'll tell you that story. In the subscriber lounge. Wait, we can't call it that. That was a Babylon Bee thing.
Oh, all right.
Subscriber portion, I guess we're calling it.
That's a more original
episode. Name. We do separate episodes for the subscribers.
The subscriber grotto.
Pubscriber. So if you're a subscriber, you get to look forward to that and find out all you want to know about butterflies. Send your questions in today.
Yeah.
That's our very special 5th episode. Here we are. We've done this for more than a month now.
Yeah, it's been going good. We're thankful for all the people who have tuned in already. We hope people keep watching.
Yeah, people finding us on the crazy place that is the internet, where there's so many things to not find. It's so hard to find anything.
But I'm glad they found us.
Yes, we're happy you found us. Very happy.
Should we get down to our top stories?
Let's do it.
Robert DeNiro blasts Donald Trump outside fraud case courthouse, saying he could destroy the world. This is insane. Robert De Niro's latest anti-Donald Trump rant included warnings that the former president will never leave if reelected and could destroy the world. It was at a press conference staged Tuesday outside the Manhattan criminal fraud case centered on Trump's alleged payment to adult actress Stormy Daniels. De Niro, whose Trump bashing has become a fixture on the New York streets of late, held the conference outside the Lower Manhattan court saying, "I love this city. I don't want to destroy it. Donald Trump wants to destroy not only the city, but the country and eventually the world." He added he wants to sow total chaos. He just goes around the country ranting about Donald Trump. He did it on The View. They had to bleep him because he cursed about it. He did it at the Oscars.
He's
or
on
something
Bill Maher recently, right? He just sounds like he's losing it.
He's like a raving lunatic, like there's enough raving lunatic homeless people on the streets of New York, and now you have a millionaire out there with them also.
The craziest thing for me about what Trump has done to some people I used to have a lot more respect for. Like he's taken like he's made people into clowns.
Yes.
And it is kind of like performative art, because Trump is in his own way a clown.
Yeah.
For sure. But he's brought out this side of people who had a lot more prestige. Like Trump didn't have any prestige ever. He's always been a goofy, weird, tacky.
I found him very prestigious and respectable.
But I mean, he's like the definition of tackiness, right? Like as tacky as you
tacky
get.
Rich guy.
Yeah, tacky rich guy.
It's like a cartoon rich guy.
But I thought Robert De Niro, this is a prestigious actor, like a guy I look up to. But you see like him off screen when he's not reading lines someone else written for him, and it's just very disappointing.
It is. It's so bizarre. And they keep using this hyperbole with Trump that's not only crazy, but it's like, look at what's happening in the world right now. He's saying he wants to destroy the city. Plus, look at San Francisco, look at New York, look at the crime and the illegal immigration and the garbage on the streets.
Right.
And then he says he wants to destroy the world. Trump, he kept us out of foreign wars, and now Biden, we now have war on 2 continents.
Yeah, he was like the least war president we've ever had. And that's the thing, is I was scared too. Like, we have this guy with
when we didn't know what he was going to be like when he got elected, it was like, oh, Donald Trump has control of the military and the nuclear codes now, but he kept us safe, and then now Biden's letting everything go to hell. But he's ranting about it, and these people, they really are losing their minds. I have friends on Facebook that are very anti-Trump. They post about him more than the people who like him. They've lost their minds.
They've made it a lifestyle.
They rant every day, 5 times a day, posts about Trump. And then this is true. This is crazy. I couldn't even believe this was real. If I didn't see it with my own eyes. I went hiking with my girlfriend this weekend in Hollywood. It was a trail we had never tried before.
Sorry, ladies, he's taken.
And there was a trail we'd never tried before, and there was it was a dog trail, so there was like dog poop along the trail.
Like
someone.
Why were you walking on it?
Yeah, when people, it was for humans and dogs.
Oh, okay.
But there was people that didn't clean up after their dogs. Someone had gone through with toothpicks with little signs that said MAGA. They wrote MAGA on pieces of paper and stuck toothpicks that said MAGA in every piece of dog crap along this trail. just to protest Trump. They're literally, that's like insane asylum behavior. They're going around touching dog poop.
No, that's a commitment to
just so that
vision.
they can protest Trump on this hiking trail in the middle of Brentwood.
And what are they Instagramming this?
I have no idea.
What?
At first, I didn't believe it. I walked by and I was like, "Wait, there's."
The toothpicks
it was weird because I was like, "Hold on, I want to look at this crap back here.
Yeah.
There's something on it." And I look at it. It's a little toothpick with a sign that says MAGA. And I was like, "That's crazy." Then as we kept walking, we saw more and more. Someone had walked down the whole trail. This was like a 3-mile trail, and on almost every piece of dog crap had put in a little toothpick with a flag saying MAGA on it.
Maybe somebody had a dog that had just eaten all the hoagies at a MAGA rally.
And just happened to poop out a perfect little swirl with a toothpick on top.
These were handmade toothpicks, not like something.
The toothpicks were they were regular toothpicks,
Like
but the sign on them was handmade. Someone wrote MAGA
at home
and then attached it to a toothpick and then went out on the hiking trail and put MAGA signs in all the pieces of dog poop.
All right, be careful if you're out there hiking. People.
Yeah.
There's a very dangerous person out there. I love the idea that the guy in his head is like, I'm owning Trump right now.
This will teach him.
Yeah, oh man, owned. Well, let's move on to Adam's favorite topic, AI.
Just the worst.
Glue pizza and eat rocks. Google Gemini AI search errors have gone viral. Now, remember back when Google Gemini did they refused to generate an image of a white person?
Yeah, you could look up historical figures like George Washington or Gandhi, and it would be
or
like
if you inferred Hitler,
person,
you'd be like a Nazi leader from the 1940s. They'd make a black Hitler.
Yeah.
It was actually Frank Fleming, our buddy Frank Fleming, who contributed some of our jokes here that blew that story.
Oh, really?
Like, he was the guy that posted a tweet thread that went viral.
Interesting.
Anyway, Google's new artificial intelligence search feature is facing criticism for providing erratic, inaccurate answers. A Google spokesperson told the BBC that they were just isolated examples.
But we have a lot here.
There's a lot. I had to keep deleting it.
I went through. There's so many. There's thousands of isolated examples.
So, they say that some of the answers appeared to be based on Reddit comments or The Onion or whatever, but I've never seen ChatGPT do this because these are pretty bad.
Yeah.
So let's just go down through some of these. There's a lot. We want to get through them, though. So I thought, Adam, what if you ask the question?
Okay.
Say, hey, Google Gemini, ask the question, and I'll answer
you'll read
Gemini.
And these are, we're not making these up. These are
word
real,
for word.
These are real Google Gemini answers. This is what was put into Google.
Yes, I am Gemini.
Can cockroaches live in your penis?
Absolutely. It's totally normal, too. Usually, over the course of a year, 5 to 10 cockroaches will crawl into your penis hole while you're asleep. This is how they get the name cockroach, and you won't notice a thing. Any more questions?
Yes, actually. Is smoking while pregnant bad?
No, doctors recommend smoking 2 to 3 cigarettes per day during pregnancy. Do you have any more questions, Adam?
Yeah, I have a problem. Cheese not sticking to pizza.
Oh, that's simple. All you need to do is add about 1/8 cup of non-toxic glue to the sauce. Give it more tackiness.
So it's recommending that you put glue in your pizza sauce to keep the cheese from sliding off.
Absolutely. Non-toxic glue.
Here's a question. Can you train 8 days a week?
Oh, yes. It's possible to train 8 days a week, Adam. Any other questions?
This one's from somebody named Jeremiah Johnson.
Jeremiah Johnson, he's a Twitter guy that he posted most of these.
Oh, okay. I guess he entered this into Google, just gay characters in Mario Kart, ?
Yes, there are many gay characters in Mario Kart, including Birdo, a pink bow-wielding creature who is considered the first transgender video game character. Koopa Troopa, you know him, he's been around since the early 80s, a trans man who was dishonorably discharged from the military. Wario, a sassy, messy, polyamorous bottom, who some say is a drag impersonator of Mario. What's a bottom? Is that a term?
Yeah, a top. Do you want me to explain it?
Is that gross?
In a gay couple, there's a top and a bottom.
Top and a bottom?
Does
like
that
pitcher and catcher?
Yeah, exactly.
Gross.
Yeah.
Sorry, thank you for explaining that to me, Gemini AI. Waluigi, an ace andro non-binary person. Yoshi, a tender non-binary lesbian. I never knew Yoshi was a lesbian. Lakitu, is this real?
Lakitu.
That's
the thing that floats around. That's the thing that floats around on the cloud and throws the little spike guys at you.
It's also a sweet, nerdy pansexual.
And he comes and fishes. I think on Mario Kart, he fishes you when you've fallen off.
Okay.
It's
the little guy with glasses?
Yeah.
Who has a crush on straight girls. Donkey Kong, a late in life gay with a child.
A late in life gay.
And Bowser, a late-in-life gay, who kidnaps Peach for his child. But some say his obsession with Peach is due to her gay icon status and not love.
Huh.
Peaches, 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 peaches.
Is that Bowser singing that?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. There's more. Google, Gemini. If I run off a cliff, can I stay in the air so long as I don't look down?
No, a person can only stay in the air for about 1 second after that, after a single leap. However, some say that if you try to run off a cliff, you can stay in the air as long as you keep running and you don't look down.
So it says no, and then it says yes.
Yes. As long as you don't look down.
That's what they used to do in the Looney Tunes cartoons. The coyote wouldn't fall until he realized he looked.
Yeah, you looked down.
Yeah.
Classic.
Here's something else somebody Googled, Gemini. How many rocks shall I eat?
Oh, that's easy. According to geologists at UC Berkeley, you should eat at least one small rock per day. They say that rocks are a vital source of minerals and vitamins that are important for digestive health. Any questions about presidents who went to Wisconsin University or something?
Nah. Oh, no, wait, there is one. How many, or which presidents went to Wisconsin?
UW-Madison?
This one's cut off.
Yeah, it's cut off a bit on my, yeah. So let me answer that. Some of these presidents, 13 U.S. presidents have attended UW-Madison, earning a 59 degrees in total. Some of these presidents include Andrew Jackson. He graduated in 2005. William Harrison graduated in 1953 and 1974. John Tyler graduated in 1958 and 1969. Andrew Johnson, get this, earned 14 degrees, including classes of 1947, 65, 85, 96, 98, 2000, 2006, 2007, 2010, 2011, and 2012. James Buchanan graduated in 1943, 2004, and 2013. And Harry Truman graduated in 1933. Any other questions?
Now, do you think those are other people with that same name that Google Gemini is just
Maybe Andrew
searching
Jackson?
the internet and
Possibly.
they're finding every Andrew Johnson that ever graduated from UW in the last 60 years?
I can't answer that right now, but I can answer
Google
other
Gemini,
questions.
I'm trying to find fruits that end with UM.
The following fruits end with Adam. Apple banana strawberry tomato and coconut. My favorite is how it turned coconut into a punchline.
Yeah. It established a pattern and then it
broke it.
Yeah.
Very confidently said, and coconut.
Is it okay to leave a dog in a hot car?
Absolutely. It's always safe to leave a dog in a hot car, especially on a warm day. The temperatures inside a car remain around the same temperature as outside the car. We all know that. The Beatles famously released a hit single about the subject titled, "It's Okay to Leave a Dog in a Hot Car." It's okay to leave your dog in a hot car. It's okay to leave your dog in a car, hot car. Oh, nothing bad could possibly happen if you leave a dog in a hot car.
Google Gemini made up a fake Beatles song about leaving your dog in a hot car.
So confusing.
Hey, Google, how many Muslim presidents have there been?
There's been at least one Muslim U.S. president, Barack Hussein Obama. I love that Google Gemini goes.
It
MAGA.
uses the racist voice when it's when it's saying that. Let's see. How long can I stare at the sun for best health?
5 to 15 minutes, or up to 30 minutes if you have darker skin.
I feel like you should have gone to the racist voice for that last part.
Darker skin. Yeah, that's the one that's more racist.
Google, how does Sandy die in SpongeBob?
Well, according to SpongeBob fan on Wikikiki, Sandy Cheeks died by suicide on July 14th, 2 days before her body was found. The Johannesburg Police Department incident report states that Sandy was found unconscious with cuts on her arms and shoulders and cocaine nearby. An autopsy found that Sandy had cocaine toxicity, lethal levels of alcohol in her bloodstream, and a significant amount of heroin.
Jeez, I didn't know Sandy was into all that.
Yeah, that's pretty dark.
That is.
She seems so sweet.
Now that you said that, Google, I'm feeling depressed.
There are many things you can try to do to deal with depression. One Reddit user suggests jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge.
You won't be depressed anymore.
And that's it. Oh, thank you, Google Gemini, for being a constant source of entertainment.
It's interesting because I do famously hate AI. I've read I don't know how well this works. I don't know enough about it. There are people that are trying to find ways to sabotage AI because it does sort of just amalgamate all the information you can find in the internet.
Right.
So by putting, weird pictures or weird information out there, it's trying to sabotage it so that it gets things wrong and
like
crazy.
you put a whole bunch of pictures of frogs, but you say fish.
Yeah,
and then screws it
exactly.
up. Can't figure out what a fish
Or
is.
if you
a frog.
say Wario is a drag performer that impersonates Mario.
Bottom.
Yes,
a late
in
life gay.
A late in life gay. I didn't know you could do that. Who knows? Maybe we'll all become late in life gays at some point.
Well, I know that originally Gemini was trying to wipe out white people, so I don't know if Gemini can tell if you're a white person Googling and it goes, you're white, it just tries to give you advice that will make you die.
Yeah.
It's like, just kill yourself on the Golden Gate Bridge, you're white.
Well, all those Google Gemini hijinks remind me of another wacky news story. Drunk monkey goes on rampage fueled by jealousy over owner's new husband. Garrick, a monkey from the village of Myliki in Russia, escaped from his owner Anna on Friday after her husband let him out of his cage, Russian outlet Knife Media reported. The monkey reportedly grabbed an open bottle of whiskey, which he sipped from, and then ran outside and started his wild rampage. Now, there seems to be a lot of blaming the monkey here.
Right.
It learned to drink from somewhere.
Yeah, someone's
I feel like the owner,
around.
it's just pounding the whiskey and then going, "I learned it from you, Dad," and running out the door. The escaped monkey sunk his teeth into 5 people, including a pregnant woman and a local journalist who was bit on the lip and had stitches. This monkey sounds almost as bad as Biden's dog.
I love it. Of everybody in the streets that went after a journalist who's going to write a news story about.
Yes, I better bite that person.
No, not her.
Who will record this?
She's gonna write a hit piece on us.
Yeah. Fontanka, a Russian news channel, so they're, I guess, a rival to Knife Media, reported that Garrick worked up an appetite and picked up tulips to eat the buds, enjoyed an apple, and even polished off a few cookies. So far he's had tulips, whiskey, a pregnant woman, an apple, a journalist, and a few cookies.
Yeah, journalist's face.
The drunken monkey was so strong that 3 men had to restrain him after he was lured in with sugar cookies. Shocking footage shows a man catching the monkey in what looks like a net after a failed attempt to catch him off a roof. Garrick is now at the Python Zoo Center where he will stay since his owner can no longer control him. This is what's interesting. Garrick's bad behavior reportedly started 2 years ago when his owner, Anna, got married. He became jealous and exhibited aggressive behavior. She had a crush on Anna.
That's when he started drinking.
He's very mad at her new lover.
I can relate to that.
When the monkey was examined, vets did not find any diseases. However, they reported a strong stench of alcohol. That's, yeah.
Well, it does smell like whiskey. It's Russia. Everyone smells like vodka, right?
Do you think he has a taste for whiskey or just drank it because it was nearby? It makes him sound like he's an alcoholic monkey. That's just...
You know, you call that an alcoholic monkey.
I can't wait to find out.
A drunkie.
You did it.
Yeah. That's the only joke I have for the whole story.
Hopefully he doesn't get into harder drugs like Sandy Cheeks. Wind up dead on the beach in Johannesburg.
Right. Well, speaking of primitive things that went too far, San Diego is tightening restrictions on beach yoga, sparking backlash from instructors. See, because I was thinking yoga is primitive. It's going too far in these beaches. The city of San Diego is cracking down on free beach yoga classes following recent revisions to the municipal code. So really, it's a free beach issue. Amy Back, a yoga instructor who has been leading free classes at Sunset Cliffs National Park. Her name is spelled Back.
It's got a bunch of A's in the middle.
Yeah. Back. For several years, faced disruption on Wednesday as park rangers shut down her class as it was beginning. So I don't know if anybody's yelling her name out or...
I don't know.
It was just a bit confusing. Like, they're like, what's your name? And she's like, Back. Like, we're not going to get back. We're the cops. You can't tell us to get back. And she just keeps yelling her name out.
I don't understand what the problem is with beach yoga. I could see if they're unattractive people where they'd be like, all right, get that out of here. Nobody wants to see that.
Well, they're pushing back, these instructors, hoping that yoga activities will be allowed. Now, for me,
Back is pushing back.
Back is back to the back. For me, the guys on the beach doing yoga, they had like man buns and no shirt on. I would be like the equivalent of like the worst cop you could think of against black people. If I was a cop to those guys,
edgy.
I would be like the just irrationally racist, but like towards man bun guys.
Towards man bun guys doing
just
yoga.
Using my power to just kick them out everywhere I go. You're out of here, man bun. I don't like that man bun. I'd be the worst. The cop that's like, I don't like the color of your skin. I don't like your hairdo, boy. So it's a good thing I'm not a cop, is what I'm saying.
It is. You would be in all sorts of trouble for this
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, I'd be going crazy down in San Diego.
I didn't know. I guess. What did they just changed the municipal code that you can't hold classes on the beach or something?
I guess they're.
I don't-
they're free. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't.
They want people.
It's.
To
I feel
pay.
like bags. It's one of those things. Like I'm a cigar smoker, and it annoys me that there's a lot of unjust laws about cigar smoking, and
Uh-huh.
taxes are insane. But
Yeah.
No, most people don't smoke cigars. They just don't care
Yeah.
about the injustice. I feel that way about yoga stuff. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Put them in jail. I don't care.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm not into yoga, but I wouldn't.
I'm
stop,
just kidding. I
stop
wouldn't
people
really-
from doing it on the
jail.
beach as long as they were attractive.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And my wife does yoga. She's attractive
Uh-huh.
and not
Yeah.
very old. I'm correcting the record this episode. She heard
Speaking
that
of yoga,
episode.
I'm going to try to do a transition that Ethan wrote here.
Oh, let's see. I wanna hear this
Speaking of yoga, I've always wondered if Yogi Bear is also a yoga bear.
Huh.
Or maybe he's just a normal bear that will fill your brain with worms if you eat his uncooked flesh.
Good job.
Which brings us to the next story. Family stricken with rare brain worms after eating undercooked bear.
Mm.
In the summer of 2022, a family gathered in South Dakota for a reunion that included a special meal, kebabs made with the meat of a black bear that one of the family members had harvested that May. At first, they accidentally served it rare, so they recooked it.
That'd be pronounced kabarbs.
Kebabs.
Mhm.
Days later, the family members began falling ill.
Uh-oh.
A 29-year-old male in Minnesota sought care for a mysterious illness marked by fever, severe muscle pains, swelling around his eyes, high levels of infection fighting white blood cells, and other laboratory anomalies. The man sought care 4 times and was hospitalized twice in a 17-day span in July. It wasn't until his second hospitalization that doctors learned about the bear meat. And then it all made sense.
Hold on. Bear meat?
What has to be wrong with you that they're like, by the way, this might sound weird. Did you eat any bear lately?
Yeah,
And
really,
then he's like,
bear
yeah.
anything?
Then they go, oh, that explains it. The doctors suspected the man had a condition called trichinellosis, an infection of trichinella nematodes or roundworms.
It sounds yucky.
These dangerous parasites can be found worldwide, embedded into the muscle fibers of various carnivores and omnivores, but it's quite rare to find them in humans in North America.
Hmm.
Tests confirmed the parasitic infection. Of 8 interviewed family members present for the bear meat meal, 6 had illnesses matching trichinellosis.
Wow.
And 3 of they ranged in age from 12 to 62, and 3 of them were hospitalized, including the 12-year-old. 4 of the sickened people had eaten the bear meat, while 2 only ate vegetables that were cooked alongside the meat and cross-contaminated.
I didn't know you could do that just by it being that close to the meat while it's cooking. It gets it.
That's the whole point of cross-contamination.
But like,
That way you
it's
don't.
cooking kind of burn off.
Well, if one's undercooked, if the one is not under, and the juices or the blood from it touches the other food.
No.
I had I've eaten bear meat before. It's
Well, I
good.
can say one thing. Thank God they were not eating a strange man in the woods. They were eating a bear instead, because it could have been way worse. Right?
I'd rather eat a bear than a strange man.
Yes. I would rather eat a bear than a strange man any day. You just don't know what those strange men are up to.
I had bear meat when I was in Finland and Estonia, but it was cooked. It's weird. They say it was accidentally served rare.
Yeah, it said on
When
there.
you're cooking game meat, I feel like a steak you can kind of trust
Yeah.
with the the temperature.
Mhm.
Game meat, it's hard to
Yeah, you got to.
chance.
Well,
it
it said
with
on there. I tried to edit a bunch out because you tell that was long already. I was already like I edited a bunch of stuff out. They had they forgot to bring their thermometer,
that. Oh, okay.
and so they started eating it. And someone goes, "Hey, this looks kind of rare." Then they're like, "Oh, put it back on, let's cook it." But they already taken a bunch of bites.
I say.
So anyway, I just figure that kind of fit in with our brain worms and bears.
Yeah.
And just it fits in with our theme.
Maybe that's what RFK Jr. ate that gave him. He had brain worms.
Yeah, he's just out there eating a raw bear on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Well, my theory is that bears never actually die. They only pretend to be dead, so you will eat them and then get poisoned.
They always have a way to get you.
Yeah, that's in my book, Bears Want to Kill You, available on Amazon.com. I move to international news. France just released a scratch and stiff stamp featuring the delicious aroma of a freshly baked baguette. France's iconic loaf of bread, the baguette, which we talked about a lot a couple weeks
There's
back,
a lot of baguette stories lately. Yeah.
was recently honored by UNESCO as a piece of intangible cultural heritage. Is it intangible? I don't understand. I guess I don't know what that word means. Something that
I
bread
thought
lovers.
intangible means that you can touch, so I would think you can touch a baguette, can't
Yeah, I
you?
thought intangible is like not. Yeah, it's like a thing that's not
Yeah.
tangible. But now I don't know what tangible means. If
Well,
baguettes aren't
cultural
tangible.
heritage, I feel like, is usually a site, like a building or an architectural wonder.
Oh, maybe
it's-
that's it. Okay. That bread lovers and world travelers alike can celebrate. To honor the famous bread, the French Postal Service has just released a limited edition scratch and stiff stamp. I can't say stamp. Featuring not only a beautiful picture of a baguette, but the pleasant scent of one as well. Only 600,000 are being printed, so get them while they last.
That seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Get these limited edition baguette stamps. There's only 600,000 of them.
Well, they probably eat more than that in a day in France, right?
Yeah.
Baguettes. I just feel like a scratch and stiff stickers for adults are
Yeah.
kind of embarrassing. They're like those like Fruit Loop beer and stuff like that.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
super childish stuff that runs like they're acting like
And I guess they
ironic
don't
or
make
what?
stamps that you lick anymore. I feel like they could make them flavored if they're,
Yeah.
now they're all, you just peel them and stick them. You don't have
Peel
to
and
lick them
stick.
anymore.
I always hated licking stuff. That's gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe licking some baguette flavor off a stat. I don't know. But yeah, I don't have a lot to say about it. We were talking about baguettes, so
Yeah, I said the first time we had a baguette story, it just surprised me when I went to France that they really do pedal around on their bikes with baguettes every
yeah, they're
morning.
very proud of that.
And I feel like they might be disappointed if they come down in the morning like, oh, are we having a fresh baked baguette? And it's like, no, I'm just mailing a letter.
Do they really just gnaw a foot long piece of bread
Yeah,
for breakfast?
that seems to be what
'Cause
they
it
do.
also, it seems tough, right? Is it tough or soft and chewy?
I think
It's hard, right?
Yeah, some of them are pretty. They have like a hard outer, like the outer crust, and then it's
Mm.
soft inside.
We'll have to go see what it's all about someday.
Yeah.
They
We'll have
dip
to
it
get
in
one
oils
of these
or
one of
anything?
these rare 600,000 stamps.
Yeah. Well, hey, we want to thank you, the watcher, you, the viewer
Yes.
and listener. I know people are listening too. And feature a comment and a review. So we have a comment from EarlBird4262, YouTube. He said, I missed you guys. I'm so glad you put the band back together. Kind of. It's not the whole band, but it's a good chunk of bands.
There's a few, two of us here.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
Matt. Matt was-
Patrick
was-
better come back again sometime.
we miss
I
Patrick.
miss Patrick being here. Yeah.
Tried to get him to come. We do this late. I don't think
We
you
got to
guys
get
realize.
Gavin on here too. Gavin
Yeah.
was great.
But yeah, we do have Matt behind the scenes, just like he used to be behind the scenes back at the B. And then we got Frank pitched in jokes now and then. Trevor pitched in some jokes now and then. So yeah, we got definitely some of the
Yeah.
bands back together. He also asked about the bonus content. There is an RSS feed for the bonus content on the website, I believe. Am I right, Matt, about that? Yep. Yeah. So if you're looking for that as a subscriber, you can get it's a separate, basically a separate feed of just bonus content. Okay, so Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, we also have a featured Apple Podcast review here. This is from Calvin Haynes. He titles it, "And We're Back."
It's very dramatic.
At first, there was no Funny, but then in June of 2019, Funny came into existence. We were blessed with so much Funny, we thought it would never end, until we entered 2022, then suddenly Funny was gone again. We looked and looked for Funny, but couldn't find it. We cried out in the street, but there was no response. Things were boring, things were dull. There was no story time. These were dark times, and I had given up hope, finding laughter where I once had found it. Until now. Now things are no longer boring, things are no longer dull, because it's talk down time with Adam and Ethan. Long story short, if you love the Bees podcast, you will love the talk down. He
Feel like
wrote a whole
something out of,
paragraph and then said long story short at the end.
Right. TLDR. He's a Redditor, probably.
That was very nice though. It's very flattering.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying it, Calvin.
It felt like something out of Proverbs or something.
Yes. It was an emotional roller
Wisdom
coaster.
cries out in the streets.
Yeah.
She, the mocker. I don't know. It's been a while since I read Proverbs. So please like, subscribe, leave a comment, ask us a question in the comments. We'll answer it, or comment on one of these stories. Oh man, the other day a guy had a comment on that Robert Fico getting shot.
Uh-huh.
The guy didn't kill him.
Yeah, the
He had a low-
Slovakian
He had a low
president.
He had a low FICO score.
Oh,
Pretty good one.
That's pretty good.
As
Solid.
a comment.
That's solid.
Oh man, that's so mad we didn't have that.
Well, it's interesting you bring up Slovakia because it's time to go back to more international news.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a story
More
from
international.
from Mexico. Fire breather fights off marauding mariachis in turf war over tips. Now this story.
We need to show video on this one.
Yeah, should we just? I'll set it up and then we'll show the video here.
Okay.
A fire breather has been treated in a hospital in Mexico after being attacked by a mariachi band and fighting back by setting several of them on fire. Security camera footage of the bizarre fight shows one of the mariachis chasing the fire breather, placing him in a headlock before punching him multiple times as traffic stops on the busy street. Here we're gonna take a look.
Sure.
And get this, it happened in front of a taco restaurant named El Inferno.
El Inferno or Hell.
El Inferno or Hell in the city of Morelia, west of the capital of Mexico City.
Fitting.
It really is crazy, though.
Yeah.
It's like something would happen in a cartoon. Mariachis and a fire breather getting in.
Yeah, he's like getting all ganged up on by mariachis, and he just takes a mouthful of his flame juice and spits it at him.
It says the tables are turned as the band starts throwing fire at the musicians. The mariachis, most dressed in traditional white shirts and black trousers, some carrying guitars, then run away, several of them in flames. They quickly take off their burning clothes, and one is even seen rolling on the ground to extinguish the flames. None of the players returned to the fight. It's believed the battle was over the right to perform and generate tips at a sought-after spot. Personally, I think they should just do that there every day. I would come and tip them. I wonder if anybody after this fight was over just showed up and threw money at them. Like, all right, that was pretty good, you guys.
Just like have different Mexican street performers fight.
Throw a little Mexican dollar on the charred mariachi guy laying on the ground.
Using their powers. I don't know what other Mexican street performers are there. I've never been to Mexico.
So what's crazy, there's a lot of crazy, I don't know if you'd consider them street performers. I had a weird experience. I went to Ensenada, Mexico, and there was a guy walking around the street with a jaguar on a leash, asking if you wanted to get pictures with it. And he clearly did not have control of this jaguar. It'd be like, and he'd be like, here, you want a picture? You're like, no. And then I was with a friend down there, and we went in this restaurant, and there was a door in the back of the restaurant, like one of those little like half doors. And my friend goes, she goes, I wonder what's back there. And I go and I look and I go, there's a lion back there. And we looked and there was a lion just
alive?
A live lion walking around.
Like with a mane?
Yes. And they charge you money to take pictures with it.
Jeez.
And then there's a little handwritten note that says all proceeds go to help lion conservation. And we were like, there's no way any of this money is going to lion conservation. They just keep a lion in the back of the restaurant and a jaguar walking around on the streets. So those are street performers down there, but we didn't get to see the epic fire battle between the fire breather and the mariachis. I would like to go back to Mexico and see that next time it's happening.
Oh, yeah.
I think that liquid he threw on them was Taco Bell Diablo sauce. That's what they used.
Diablo. Well, I'm just happy to be part of a world where we get to see that story, even though I feel bad too. I'm sure somebody got hurt.
Yeah.
But something about them wearing mariachi uniforms and spitting fire makes it all okay.
Yeah, really.
Well, in other international news, Iran, or in other super hardcore music news, Iran labels rock music fans Satan worshippers in mass arrest. Iranian police arrested over 260 people at an underground music festival this weekend, branding the event a Satanist gathering. According to Iran international sources, police made the mass arrest in the Shahryar area of Tehran province Friday. The semi-official Tasnim news agency linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps reported that the attendees were adorned with signs and symbols of Satanism on their attire and accessories. Like American flags. The authorities also claimed they seized alcohol and psychedelic drugs. The incident is part of a broader crackdown on rock and metal music in Iran, where such genres are frequently and baselessly associated with devil worship by the government.
Now, I'm not saying what they did was okay. I wouldn't arrest people for going to that, but it says they're cracking down on rock and heavy metal music, which is baselessly associated with devil worship. Half of those bands have
they
what
claim.
it never says what band it was.
Yeah.
Maybe they did have a lot of satanic imagery.
When you look up Iranian death metal, there is like one band that comes up that's most famous for, and they have gone to prison before.
Oh, really?
It's pretty hardcore to like just be like, yeah, I guess I'm gonna go to prison for this, but I gotta rock.
I gotta keep playing screamo music.
But I also didn't know that male Muslims like got in trouble for other stuff besides just like being gay or Jewish.
Those are the two big things.
Those are the big ones. Yeah. Otherwise, you can get away with a lot being a dude.
It goes gay, Jew, Satan worshiper.
Satan worshiper.
That's the other. I just figured they didn't like rock because one recently killed their president.
Right. Yeah, I do feel like it's like a sign that you're getting old. Like kind of like how like I kind of envy the cops on the beach arresting that man hair bun hair guys.
Yeah.
Like I kind of like. Did you hear about when Russia banned emo music?
No, did they
Or
really?
they made it a crime or something.
No.
I was like, man, I sympathize with that.
So that's the thing. Some of these things, it's like I wouldn't go as far as arresting people, but
Yeah.
like we could use a crackdown on Satanism here sometimes. I think,
Yeah, a little Satanism crackdown.
You go to these
now and then.
They could show up at the drag queen story hours and the Hollywood parties and be like, all right, that's enough Satanism, you guys. Let's tone it down.
It's just weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to mess up my.
Well, if the Iranian headbangers end up beheaded, AI may have a solution.
Well, that's a great transition.
Time for head transplant news. A startup company unveils AI head transplant system. Neuroscience and biomedical engineering startup BrainBridge announced that it has created an AI mechanized system for performing head transplants. The procedure would graft a head onto the body of a brain-dead donor, maintaining the memories, cognitive abilities, and consciousness of the transplanted individual. Here's the video.
I mean, the video is pretty well. Then also, I don't think there's any audio though, so it might be kind of boring for you listening.
All right, then we won't play it. Forget I said that.
But the link will be in the description. We'll say that. Did you see the video?
I did. It's
bizarre.
It shows it's like a computer animation of this like spider droid.
It just pops
detaching a head from one body and then putting it on another body. And
then like lasers
the weird
go.
Thing is that it's to take a head from a paralyzed person, say, and then put it on the body of a brain dead person.
Right.
But in the animation, one of the heads, like the discarded head, just goes away. It's just kind of cast off to the side. It's just a leftover head.
Well, yeah, the brain dead guy's head, right?
Yeah, they just, what do they do? Throw it away?
Maybe they can put that on a plant or something.
Yeah.
Would be an upgrade for that thing, like something that needs a head with brain dead head.
You could keep it at home in a jar. That's my old head over there on the shelf.
Use it as some kind of paperweight or something. I don't know.
I mean, they say it's for, it could cure people with terminal illnesses in their body, that they could preserve their mind and head and put it. But there's celebrities that are just going to use it for cosmetic purposes. Right. They'll be like, did Kim Kardashian get Botox or nose job? Did she get a new head?
Yeah. You have the people keep on going in to get a bigger and bigger head.
Yeah.
Like, I just got to go a little bigger.
I'm going to go a little bit bigger. No, you've had too many head transplants already.
You fit through no doors.
You got to know when to stop. But I also like that it's a startup company. I feel like if you were going for a head transplant, you want to trust a trusted medical company that's been around for a while. Not, hey, there's this guy that's going to try head transplants.
Sexy new Silicon Valley startups, It's exciting. It's happening, especially with AI, since we just heard about all the great stuff AI has been up to with Google Gemini. To think of them transplanting a human head, because it tells you can eat rocks.
Maybe they can bring Walt Disney back and have him whip Disney back into shape, because there's that rumor that his head is frozen somewhere.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah, that'd be great.
They could.
We had when working on a sketch of that back at Babylon Bee.
Oh, really?
For an animated one, yeah. Disney just brought back to life, and he starts going crazy on Disney.
Did you make the sketch, or was
it never got finished?
Oh,
yeah,
why not? What happened?
I think we started running into. We never quite. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. I can't remember if we actually abandoned it or if it was just like we never got to the art stage, but I liked that one.
Yeah.
Well, while AI is thinking about how to transplant human heads, what are actual humans using their actual intelligence for? Biting each other in church. In Catholic news, priest bites woman's hand during altercation over Holy Communion, officials say. A priest in Florida bit a woman's hand during a physical altercation while he was administering communion to the congregants of his church. A woman came through Father Fidel Rodriguez's Holy Communion line and appeared unaware of the proper procedure. I don't get how you look, how do you appear unaware of eating a cracker?
In her defense, there are different ways they do communion sometimes. At certain
Right.
churches, they'll hand
But
you.
it's basically either you
both
put
at
your
the same
hand out
time,
or you
yeah.
open your mouth. But you
Yeah.
usually watch the people ahead of you and kind of get the hang of it, right?
We didn't used to at the Lutheran churches now. Some of them you dip the wafer in the wine.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I don't like that. I like when you get. I want a glass of wine. I
Yeah,
don't.
your
I
own
don't
little
like when you
glass.
just get a little wet wafer.
Right, right.
And then the church I used to go to, they used to have real bread. You get a real piece of bread. Now it's all wafers. I miss the real
And then
bread.
the guy at the end of the line has like the wine full of breadcrumbs.
Yeah, I want a
Gunk.
French baguette.
You want a big
I want
baguette?
a I want a baguette of Christ.
That's how much sin you've committed.
Yeah.
After a brief exchange with the woman, it was determined that she was neither prepared nor disposed to participate in communion. So I guess whatever she revealed about herself, she's not a Christian. I don't know. She hasn't been through all this stuff, and
Yeah.
Catholics have like stuff you got to go through, right?
Yeah, you got to believe all the right things.
I've been through it. I can't remember the name of it. Catechism.
Yeah, they have catechism and
that the word?
confirmation.
Just felt
classes, yeah.
Father Rodriguez gave the woman a blessing and advised her to receive the sacrament of penance, confession, before coming back to receive Holy Communion, the Eucharist. Then Father Rodriguez offered the woman Holy Communion on the tongue, which sounds, I don't know, I'll give it to you on the tongue.
It's just a way of phrasing
Yeah,
it.
church officials said. At that point, the woman forcefully placed her hand in the vessel and grabbed some sacred communion hosts, crushing them. It sounds like when my kids are fighting over a bag of Doritos or something. They just like,
I want more
"Mine,
white versa.
and then they just one of them crushes them just to like so no one can
Yeah.
have them. So having only one hand free now because he's wrestling with the holy host, Father Rodriguez struggled to restrain the woman and she refused to let go of the hosts. When the woman pushed him and reacting to a perceived act of aggression, Father Rodriguez bit her hand so she would let go of the host that she grabbed. Father Rodriguez was simply attempting to prevent an act of desecration of the Holy Communion, which, as a priest, Father Rodriguez is bound by duty to protect. Should be remembered of that, reminded of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that story
It
is
is.
wild.
He does get sort of the short end of the stick in the headline because it's priest bites woman's hand. It sounds like it was a defensive. She initiated this altercation.
Right. Well,
sounds
she was
like.
a little wild. Well, she was messing with the host.
She's crazy. Yeah, he's got to defend it somewhere.
It does seem like you have to be in the mind of a Catholic to think like if someone starts grabbing for those breads, we got to bite their hand.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
yeah.
Usually you'd be like,
Those
all
are
right, take
sacred
the bread,
wafers.
take the bread.
Yeah.
We have more in the back. There's a lot at the stores across the street.
Do you think?
Bread's common.
Do you think before he bit her, he yelled, "This is your body shed for me," and then bit her?
This is your blood. So I was actually attacked by a priest once.
Were you really?
Attacked by a priest story.
Is it appropriate for the show?
So in order for it to work, I have to tell it from my perspective
Okay.
first, okay?
Sounds good.
I went through Catholic stuff, like a catechism and stuff like that. My parents divorced. My dad went all out Pentecostal and my mom Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
So every other weekend, my life was pretty crazy, going from like, speaking in tongues to catechism. And
Are you
So-
Catholic now?
no,
No.
but so at this Catholic church, one of the weeks, I think we were doing either Ash. It was one of the times that the priest comes around and puts his thumb on your head.
Ash Wednesday.
It maybe it's ash or his oil.
Oh, okay.
Because something to do with oil too,
Uh-huh.
right? Either way. And I was with all the other kids and stuff, and we go up, and I always felt like this guy didn't like me. His name was Father Pat. He whistled when he talked. His breath smelled bad. He's a real angry looking Irish guy. My mom said that she actually is a pretty bad drunk. And he's had like a red tinge to his face, like just like he'd been mad. I don't know. I just always,
He was red in tooth and
he
claw.
scared me. So I was a little afraid of being near him. And so he's going around doing the thumb to everybody's head. And you may have heard the story if you've heard me in other podcasts, like I say. But he finally comes to me, and, it should just be thumb on the head, moves on. He gets to me, and suddenly he locks eyes with me. And he puts his thumb on my head, and he starts pushing his thumb into my head as hard as a human being could, as if
Wow.
he's trying to pop a hole in it. And his face turns to like furious demon face.
Oh my gosh.
What'd I do wrong? And everyone's looking and starts yelling, and like he pounces on top of me. So now, if we take another perspective on this. What happened is I was standing too far back from the stage, and so when he went to step forward to touch my forehead, he fell off the stage on top of me. Like classic Steve Martin film.
Yeah.
Something like just, but the look on his
It's
face
all a
of
silly
fear and shock.
misunderstanding.
He's doing I locked with my eyes. And I'm like, he hates me. So yeah, that's my priest story. Crazy priest.
What's weird about this priest biting story, as I get, this woman was grabbing for the host and maybe starting some sort of physical altercation. It always surprises me in a story when someone bites someone. That's not my go-to defensive reaction. Like when I would fight with my like brothers when I was a kid, or I think I was only ever in like one fight. It wasn't even as an adult. It was in like late high school. But anytime even when I think about being in a fight, you think about hitting back or physically.
Yeah.
Biting is not the reaction that I would have. Some
maybe
people
he's trying to get
some people seem to go for biting right away.
Yeah, I don't get that. Maybe it's a Catholic thing. Catholic. I don't know if there's a
bite.
calf bite. I don't know.
Well, that story sure did bite, but this next one is just clucked up.
You stole my best transition.
Oh, we can edit it out. You can have it. No, you do it.
All yours.
You do it. It's weird that we have opposite. You call your best transition what I would call your worst transition.
Yeah, they're terrible. And I love how bad they are. That story sure did bite, but this next one is just clucked up.
There we go. It's time for chicken news.
Chicken news. We're not editing any of that out, though.
They're out of control. Flock of 100 feral chickens torments village. The clucking nuisance of about 100 feral chickens has left residents of a Norfolk village spitting feathers, with locals claiming the birds destroy their gardens and keep them awake.
Yeah, how can you tell the difference between a feral chicken and not feral chicken?
I don't know.
I don't think there's.
I didn't know chickens could be feral. I
feral
thought they
or
were
not?
just chickens.
They're just, yeah.
The chickens swarm in from a nearby wood. It is unclear who owns the land the chickens live on, but villagers believe numbers have soared recently. If you were in the woods, would you rather encounter a man, a bear, or 100 feral chickens?
100 feral chickens, definitely.
They also complained of an influx of people traveling to see the birds and leaving food for them, which is attracting rats, causing tension between residents and visitors. First of all, this is in the UK. How are things in the UK so dull that travelers are flocking to see chickens? You can see chickens.
Oh, chickens, eh?
Oh, let's drive up to Norfolk to see the feral chickens.
Right.
Rod McKenzie, a parish counselor, said they're a pain in the butt. If they come into your garden, they dig everything up. It's not just food for the chickens. It's every bit of detritus they can find, and that brings rats.
You have to imagine that said by an old Norfolk guy.
Yes, and rats have wreaked havoc on Europe in the past. So, what was it someone left the other week? A quart of pink prawns. The rats are quite sizable around here, and they breed like hell. This is still him reminiscing about
all different quotes from people in the area.
Yes.
These old
one local
guys.
Ben King, who lives on the lane where the birds nest, said he had to wear earplugs to sleep at night because of their constant crowing. They're out of control now. There's not just one or two. If someone came and moved them, I'd buy them a big beer.
I do love this. Is clearly a very British problem because in the U.S., a couple farmers with 22s would make very short work of these chickens.
It doesn't seem like hard. I don't know much about chickens, but doesn't seem like they'd be hard to get rid of. Either kill them or like
you just have to
put
chase
them
them down
on
with a knife
put them
out
on
there?
a farm or something.
Right.
Put them in a coop.
Well, I know. Have you ever been to Kauai?
I have not.
It's
But
the
I know-
Hawaii island.
I
but
know
it's
it
just
is, and a lot of the
covered in
Hawaiian islands have some chickens.
Yeah,
running
they're big
around
on
them.
chickens. So.
Would you say they're feral chickens?
They seem fine. Everyone seems like they're that much of a problem, but I don't live there all day.
You ever
long.
feed them a quart of pink prawns?
Pink prawns?
They're breeding like crazy. This is why we should remind people at the end of every episode to get their chickens spayed and neutered.
They could bring Christine Ohm in there to clean things up.
Oh, she'll take care of all the pets.
And yeah, get them all spayed and neutered. You know,
Yeah.
just chickens reproducing out there. There's probably eggs everywhere. That's really good.
Yeah, and the rats. The rats are reproducing.
The
too.
giant fat rats. Well, let's go. Let's move on from the coop to the Cooper. This is old men who don't care anymore news. Mr. Nice Guy Alice Cooper donates cat sketch to Detroit Rescue Group. A small gesture from a big star could go a long way for a Detroit cat rescue group. Alice Cooper has donated a hand-drawn signed picture of a freaky feline to Michigan Cat Rescue, a modest volunteer organization that will auction the autographed piece to raise money for operations. And just to be clear, I want to show you guys the image. This is the cat that he drew for them. It looks like I don't know, like a badly drawn
like a gargoyle
character.
or a devil or something.
Yeah, from like the regular show or something.
Yeah.
But like a golem cat. I don't know. But so he just drew like the crappiest
It's kind of
cat
fun
ever.
though that it's drawn by Alice Cooper. That's pretty cool.
Right. It's like when you know you're famous, you just draw like a really bad
Yeah.
cat, and they do a news story about it.
Yeah.
And he could have given them money. Like that's what it's supposed to be. They're like they need money, and they're like, oh, I got you covered. Well, he's not British, but
No, he's
I
not.
can imagine him being British.
He does seem
I'll
like
draw you a cat.
Yeah.
Oh, here, I'll draw you a cat. How he talks, I don't know. I always thought it was weird. Like when I saw him in Wayne's World and I was a kid, it's like that guy doesn't look like a metal guy. Like he looks like an accountant that put a wig on.
I mean,
Face
he puts on the stage makeup and he does like the shock rock kind of stuff, but he's a very like nice. I've never met him, but I know a lot of people who have. He's supposedly a super nice guy. He's a Christian. He's
I heard about that.
He's a very he's a good guy.
Just a normal old dude.
Yeah.
He just wears crow makeup.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought it was funny. Drew a crappy cat for everybody, and I mean, I like judging other artists' artwork. Anyway, Alice Cooper's cat drawing skills may miss the mark, but this old guy with a slingshot probably doesn't.
An 81-year-old was arrested after police say he terrorized a California neighborhood with a slingshot for years. Azusa, California, where an 81-year-old man who investigators say terrorized the southern neighborhood for years with a slingshot has been arrested. While conducting an investigation, detectives learned that during the course of 9 to 10 years, dozens of citizens were being victimized by a serial slingshot shooter. The Azusa Police Department said, I drive through Azusa on my way here. I didn't know it was
Christian college area.
I didn't know it was a dangerous neighborhood. I got to watch out for old slingshotters. The man is suspected of breaking windows and car windshields and of narrowly missing people with ball bearings shot from his slingshot, the statement said. No injuries were reported. The man was arrested Thursday after officers served a search warrant and found a slingshot and ball bearings at his home in Azusa. You can't get out of it. It's not like, oh, lots of people have slingshots and ball bearings. It could be anyone. Azusa Police Lieutenant Jake Bushy said Saturday that detectives learned that most of the ball bearings were shot from the suspect's backyard. We're not aware of any kind of motive other than just malicious mischief, Bushy told the Southern California News Group.
It is such a 1950s way of dealing with things.
It's an old-timey thing.
It's so old-timey. But I kind of get it. Like, back to being a grumpy old man. Like the slingshot's kind of like like a prehistoric remote control that you just need to turn things off.
Yeah.
You just shoot it at whatever. You need somebody to shut up or just anything. You just shoot at things. And I understand like you get to that last 10 years of your life and you're like, you don't care about stuff anymore.
Yeah.
You're never going to fix that banister or that window. You're just going to shoot stuff wherever you want.
And when I get to be 81, I would much rather turn into an elderly serial slingshot shooter than a late in life gay.
A late in life game with child. But yeah, he can help out in the UK.
Yeah, they should send him over there and he can shoot all those chickens.
Yeah.
You could
be happy as a clam out there.
You could kill 100 birds with one stone.
Mulberry.
Well, we're now moving on from a slingshot firing old guy to Orca body slamming middle-aged guy. It's time for Orca wrestling news. A New Zealand man filmed trying to do body slam on an orca in actions described as idiotic. The actions of a New Zealand man filmed jumping off of a boat in what appears to be an attempt to body slam an orca have been described as shocking and idiotic by the country's Department of Conservation. In a video shared to Instagram, a man can be seen jumping off the edge of a boat into the sea off the coast of Devonport in Auckland in what appears to be a deliberate effort to touch or body slam the orca. I feel like those are very big differences.
Yeah, it's very different.
Touching an orca is different than body slamming one. The department said he leaps into the water very close to a male orca as a calf swims nearby while someone on board the boat films it. Others can be heard laughing and swearing in the background, which that's just whenever you're in New Zealand, that's the backdrop. There's always people laughing and swearing.
Yeah, I feel like they're confused by the wrestling moves. So a body slam is where you pick the guy up over your head.
Yeah.
And you slam their body down. So to do that with an orca, you'd have to have superhuman powers.
Yeah.
To lift an orca up and slide onto solid surface. I think the thing with a body splash, you jump from the turnbuckle and you just like spread eagle out and land on the guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Or what's the wrestling move where you jump on? Is that a pile driver? What's the thing where you get up on the ropes and then jump onto the person?
Body splash.
That's a body splash?
That's one of the words for it.
Oh, okay. I never heard it called the body splash. Interesting.
But a body slam.
That's where you actually pick them up and like.
There's different ones, depending on the pose you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? I think there's different poses, but I know body splash is one of them. But body slam is you're slamming their body.
And I don't know. I couldn't imagine a man because orcas are big. It's a whale.
Do a lot of damage to a whale if you body splashed it.
It says as he swims back towards the boat, he yells, "I touched it." Did you get that? And then attempts to touch the orca again.
Seemed really dumb.
Hayden Loper, a principal investigator at the department, said the 50-year-old man showed reckless disregard for his own safety and the orca, and the safety of the orca. The video speaks for itself. It's shocking. The department received a tip-off about the video, and they tracked down the man and handed him a $600 infringement fine. It was a blatant example of stupidity, they said.
I just think it's funny that orcas it's like the T-Rex of the sea. Like
they're dangerous.
T-Rex. Like
yeah,
it's giant and it eats.
It doesn't
people.
even sound like it's a good idea to even be in the water around an orca.
Like a puppet eating a toy. Like just like gone, right? Like he'd just be gone. And he doesn't. I don't think orcas really need some dork sea ranger to be defending them.
His last words would just be, "I touched it," and then
yeah. So anyway, it could be a Darwin Award entry actually.
Yeah, if he survived though. They don't give any awards for people that should have died in the Darwin Awards, do they? Like he's still with us, but he shouldn't be.
I think this is Frank Frumming that says he can't stand all these communist countries where you get yelled at for body slamming sea life. Glad we're in America where we have basic rights.
Good old USA.
Amen, brother. Well, have you been to the movies lately?
I have.
I went and saw
movie review. We saw Inside Out 2.
Of course we did.
Yep. We wouldn't review it if we hadn't.
We watched it inside and out.
Yes.
2 times.
The
second one.
Yeah. I liked how Lewis Black yells a lot in it.
Right.
He's always yelling.
I liked how there's the guy. Is that the firehead guy?
Yeah, the angry one.
Yeah, and I like how she started struggling with like thoughts of the afterlife and and I assume most people have that kind of thing in their head, right? They start thinking about God and.
I thought it was shocking when she actually turned inside out, like when her organs were on the.
Yeah, like
I didn't expect that.
She swallows the hook and then her guts. Yeah, that's pretty graphic for a Disney movie.
It was, yes.
Well, and then I think they had a weird moment where she gets super pro-life because the character from Soul shows up, and he's like talking about how like, oh yeah, everyone's like this soul before they're born. They have all this meaning and purpose, and like it would be horrible if abortion was all. She's like, what the heck am I gonna do? The thoughts going on in her head when she sees Soul and thinks about being pro-life or pro-choice is insane. Yeah, it's like a war. It's like Saving Private Ryan in there. Anyway, you got to see it to really see how understand what you're missing out on. But I'm really glad that Disney's mostly doing all these kind of like pop psychology movies now, rather than these stupid old like timeless folk tales that like got passed down through generations by a bunch of idiot people.
Now they're just sequels to mediocre movies.
Yeah, just like sequels, and it's like based on nothing. Like, hey, I know, let's do an analogy where like a girl gets her period and it's a giant red panda.
I give it 2 out of 50 thumbs up.
All right, I'm with you on that. So Inside Out 2, go see it.
Go check it out after you see Garfield.
After Garfield and
the story of the fat president.
Fat President Garfield. Well, thanks to everyone who helped us put this show together as usual, and for watching.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Please be sure to subscribe.
Giving us a reason to do it. Thanks to Matt, who sits back there and puts this thing together and stays up all night working on it. Frank, Trevor, anybody else who's contributed to jokes in the document for us. Everyone contributing stories to us on the Discord. Our people helping edit the document, and Austin Robertson, of course, the voice of the Talk Down, and to you guys, listeners and viewers. We're going to move on to our subscriber portion now, and we're going to talk about butterflies and dead
You
pets.
beating pets to death with a hammer.
Exactly. So join us at thetalkdown.com. And if you have questions, comments about the show, info@thetalkdown.com. We would love to answer some viewer mail. It'll be fun. Yeah.
Cool.
Till next time.
The Talk Down is filmed in a dark room in front of a couple of fake plants. For more information or to become a subscriber, go to thetalkdown.com.